with the Storm just getting home over the Panthers. However, the story of that night was an injury to Nathan Cleary. The Panthers saying he's avoided surgery and they are hoping he will be back for the finals. But Gal, can the Panthers win a premiership without Nathan Cleary?
No, they can't. Look, they've got a great roster, great squad. Look, they take him out, they put someone in, and they'll win their last 3 games. They'll play Canberra, South and the Titans. I think they'll win that. But when they play the Melbourne Storm or the Sydney Roosters or the Sharks on their day, the Bulldogs maybe, I just don't think they can get the job done without Cleary. You've got to remember, he was out for 10 weeks. He came back, kicked a 40-metre winning field goal to win the game for them. Scored a hat-trick the week later. He then scored the game-winning try the week after that and then kicked the game-winning goal the week after that. So if you take him out of those 4 games, they possibly lose 3 out of 4 of them. They may not even be in the top 4 if he's not on the side. So to win the premiership without Nathan Cleary, I don't think they can do it. I just don't.
And Chammy, Dane Laurie said today that he won't be moving into the halves. He's going to stay on the wing. So it seems now it's either going to be Jack Cole or Brad Schneider partnering Jerome Luai.
Interestingly, Brad Schneider and Luke Summerton, the hooker, they were taken out of New South Wales Cup on the weekend. Generally, if you do so, you obviously have in mind they're going to play. Jack Cole's an option for him, but I think Brad Schneider's obviously done the job there for them in the past. But the big one is Luai, how he handles this period. We know that around Origin period, when that time when he had to obviously take over from Nathan, he played really good football. If Luai, I don't know, Gal, obviously you guys are a lot smarter than me in regards to what goes on a football field, but Jerome Luai, if he's able to get his hands on the football and play that brand of football that they played really well with him in the number 7 jersey.
As I said, they'll win the next 3 games. I think they will. And you've got to remember, we're jumping to conclusions here. Cleary will be back. Every player in the game is dealing with some sort of injury this time of the season. Everyone's hurt. A lot of players have to have surgery at the back end of the year. He just hurt himself the other night. He'll be out for 2 or 3 weeks. He'll be back. I don't think it's that big an issue, but the question was put to me, if he's not there for the semi-finals, can they win the comp? I don't think without him they can win the comp. But Jerome Luai's a fantastic player. They've got a great squad, a great roster. The way they do things, machine-like. But he's special. He's a special player. He's one of the most special players I've ever seen. In big games, you need blokes who can come up with the big moments. And that's him. We've seen it over and over repeatedly from him, how often he can come up with a big moment at a special time of the game. And without him, I just don't think they can get it done. But I think we're jumping to conclusions. I think he'll be back. I don't think it'll be a problem.
Yeah, sounds like he will be back. He is as meticulous as they come with his rehab. So many seem to say now it's a race, or at the moment in 3, the Storm, the Roosters and the Panthers. But Gus, a couple of weeks ago, I think you said the Roosters can go all the way.
Yeah, the Roosters have certainly got the roster and they've got the points in. They're by far and away the most dangerous attacking side in the competition. We saw evidence of that on a rain-soaked Allianz Stadium the other night. The Roosters are a little bit of an anomaly because even their position on the ladder at the moment belies the talent that's in this team and the depth of their roster. Now, don't get me wrong, Melbourne Storm and Panthers at full strength and playing their best football are the 2 best teams in the competition. But neither of them are what they've been in previous years. They've come off a little bit. So it's natural if there's going to be a big improvement, it'll be the Roosters that have got... I mean, the top 14 players in their game the other night were all representative class players. I mean, it's an extraordinary roster and they've got such great try-scoring potential that they're the logical danger to the top 2. I think Storm and Panthers are the 2 best sides at their best, but the Roosters are right there. And for the others, well, it's just a battle to see whether or not they can rise to the occasion come finals time. But they're the proven ones. Panthers, Roosters and Storm, they've been doing this for a decade, competing at that top level, and they're the best sides. Cleary will play. Cleary will be fine. If the grand final was in next week, Cleary would play. He'll be fine. Jerome Luai will steer the ship in the next couple of weeks if they get down to the finals, and it's up to see whether or not there's anyone like the Roosters or Sharks or anyone else can challenge those top 2 sides come finals time. They're too well credentialed. Their football's so made for finals football. That's why they've dominated for the last decade.
Think about the Roosters. I haven't seen that real defensive, tough resolve all season and consistently do it. Even the other night, some of those tries the other night, the last try they scored against the other night was just diabolical. Just a lack of concentration, total lack of concentration by a few players, and a dummy half screwed straight through the middle and scores a try. I haven't seen any consistency from them or any hunger from them defensively all year. Attack, they get attacked by the anyone. They're in front by a mile. But defensively, to do in the big games, that's when they've got to find that defensive resolve. The thing about them is, what I also wonder, I wonder whether they're just being coached along, Gus. I wonder whether the coach intentionally knows what a roster he has there and whether he's just been idling in second gear for most of the season because he knows how good they are, and come the last 3 weeks he's going to start to ramp it up. They may have had a big couple of weeks of training where they've got a lot of fitness in them, so they may be a bit flat come game day, and the coach, as we know, is an expert at priming them for the big time of the year. I just wonder whether they're only in second gear and whether they're going to come the back end of the season, these last couple of games in the semi-final time, they're just going to come out and explode.
Yeah, I understand the theory, but he has prided his whole coaching career, Trent Robinson, on defence. That's been his go-to most of the time. And they haven't shown that defensive resolve at any time this year. They've had some big numbers run up against them, even in winning games. They won a game the other day 40-34 or something or other. I mean, they've leaked a lot of points. And in that game the other night, Parramatta offered very, very little resistance. They got in the Roosters' 20-metre zone 3 times and scored 3 really soft tries. Now, sometimes, because you've got great ability to score a lot of points, that will eat away at your resolve in defence. Sometimes you think, well, it doesn't matter if they score a couple because we're going to score 6 or 7, and that's the way their season has gone pretty much all the way through it. But there was a patch during the year where they were losing games, and you can't just get to the finals and turn it on. You know when you turn the hot water tap it on? You know when you turn the hot water tap it on? It's cold for a while, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right? It's got to warm up. So if they want to get that defensive resolve, they need to be practising that now, not just saying, well, turn it on when it gets to the final. It doesn't work like that. You can't click your fingers.
It was only 14 points. I understand what you're saying. It was only 14 points against the other night, but I agree with you. The way they were
3 soft tries.
The way they were scored, soft. But there's something about the Roosters. I haven't been convinced on that.
They're playing on a swamp. I
agree, but I just think there's just something about them. I just feel they've been idling.
Yeah, if I was having a bet, I'd be backing them. They're the ones. But you just don't know how the Panthers and Storm will come. Panthers and Storm have been great for so long, but there's no doubt that they've come off through losing personnel, and they've been up for a long time. They've been playing this high-pressure football for a number of years. A few little injury concerns. There's an opportunity there for the Roosters to win a comp.
Plus the emotion of everyone leaving, Jared Waerea-Hargreaves, Joey Manu, Luke
There's a lot going on there.
I feel like their halfbacks found his feet too. They dropped him last year, and I wasn't surprised at all. He was not going good at all, but he's really found himself in first grade. He's a dead set first grade now, that kid, and he's a star. So him steering the ship around, I think he's a great player.
All right.
They probably got the best spine in the comp, to be fair. I think they've got a great spine.